in attendance. Okay, you got the pledge welcome guest, right. I will motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda with the changes. Do we need to do that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, changes to the 10.03 extracurricular passes, guys.
A second. The move seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, public comment or questions related to non-agenda items. Anybody have any? Nope. Okay, we will move on to the consent agenda. Any questions?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
I second that.
Move second. Any discussion?
I have one quick question.
Okay.
It's just a point of clarification on page 205, right off the bat.
Okay.
Where, what's that?
I was just what do you want once?
Yeah, warrants. I'm sorry. Yeah, warrants, page 205.
Okay.
We paid tuition to Helena School District.
Yeah, generally that's what in the past, that's what the tuition fund was actually for, was when we have students that are in our district that we have to send to like your specialty schools. So that was billed, that should have been billed out a lot earlier. Helena School District didn't get that to me. I would have liked to close that out in the last fiscal year. But yeah, that was for a student that was receiving service.
So does that happen if somebody sends us a tuition fee, if they send somebody to us, if we get an out of district?
Yeah, that would have, that's how it's gonna work next year for all schools, right? But this one's different. This would be like if we had a service that we provided for students that was in need, in extra need, which I don't know if we have that.
If their student leaves our district and goes for healthcare somewhere, and another public schools is serving them, we have to pay for that. Or if a student's incarcerated, maybe for some reason, we have to pay for school there. It varies on tuition that we have to pay for our student regardless of where they go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the new rule is anybody who transfers.
Anybody, yep.
Yeah.
Anybody in, anybody out.
And that's why we set the September 1st
Yes,
transfer.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Missoula County set it in March so that they could have an idea, they could close everything down and have an idea what they were looking at. Well, so we knew that our attendance kind of, our enrollment came in sometimes later than others. So we wanted to wait on that.
So your September 1st is just a countywide or
Yes.
just county?
Agreement, yeah.
Any other questions? Second, all those in favor? Okay. So we move on to correspondence, got resignations.
Resignation of elementary school teacher from Title I. That happened 3 weeks ago. July 24th. Just information.
You want to just move on to each one of them, or?
Yeah.
I think that would be very
Good. So we got three, we got another one, resignation 6.02.
Yeah. Under teacher, August 2nd, resigned. Very hard to find teachers after August 7th in 5 days.
And the last one, and one more.
And the last one is just resignation from middle school football, August 13th.
No presentations, no old business, board preparation and planning, which we just went over. Touch on that real quick, or are we moving?
Nope.
We've done all that.
Where were we at here?
The board agenda, governance calendar.
I did have a question about that.
That's what we're on there.
Yeah. Oh, can I discuss that? Or we-
Yeah.
in August, which is now, maybe you already answered the CSIP due. Is that what we just did?
Let me look. July, August.
School-wide plan.
Which one?
The school-wide plan.
School-wide plan, yes. That's what we just did.
Because it doesn't look like the right acronym for school-wide plan. It wasn't.
Which one what are you looking
It's right
at?
below.
Under regular meeting items,
Says
the very
to do,
bottom, it's
you know,
August, right there, the to-do, under the bullets.
small letters.
School, that's our comprehensive, school intervention plan. That's for the state. That's my notes for the state. We have to do this, the CSIP, which we've actually had to do. We've had to do that for the 4th time this year for OPI. Normally it's once a year, but we've done that 4 times. That's just notes for me.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, that's the comprehensive school intervention plan. That usually goes with our fall accreditation report, which is just a reminder for us to get going on that, but we've already done it. And we'll do it again 4 more times this year, apparently, so. But that's,
They're asking for that quarterly then? Is that what they-
no, they asked for it on the Title I, they asked for it for accreditation, and they asked for it in Title VI. And what else? There was one more. There was every grant that we've had to apply for, it's been a part of. Carl Perkins, yeah, that's 4. 4 of them I had to do.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yes. Okay, so we'll move on to new business. 10.01 district goals for 24-25.
That's what was reviewed at our 6 o'clock meeting, and now we just have to approve that with the changes to, I believe, goal area 4, community communications.
So I'd make a motion to, with adjustments and additions to during the board goal setting session at 6 PM, to accept the annual goals.
I second that.
Okay, we're moving second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on to 10.02 out of district students.
Recommend the approval of the out-of-district students listed in executive content. This month, we have, I believe, I don't know, open it up in front of mine, but there's at least 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct.
And there will be one more round in September if they apply by September 1st, and then that'll be it for out-of-district for the year.
No exceptions.
No exceptions, unless, I mean,
They have to move in, right?
Yeah.
Then they have to move.
they have to move in, but I
Never say
and I-
never.
Yeah.
And I never say never with special ed, because
Well, yeah, we have to, right?
you don't have to, but I don't want to say for sure unless I double check that one. But I believe since we have set the deadline and it's consistent with all students, I believe at this point we're fine to say no. But that would
And you
be,
think all students have been informed pretty well of the.
I make the motion to recommend the approval of out-of-district students listed in executive content.
Yes, we got it.
All right, moving second. Any
Official.
discussion? All those in favor?
Buzzer, yeah.
10.03 extracurricular passes.
so this was adjusted from the information that I had. It looks like it went up $10 for family, $10 for couples. Single events have gone up to $7. Student with ID. Well, the single event should have been moved down below, sorry. So just look at 110, 90, for 50 for that one. And single would have been 60 last year, 70. Yeah, give it to me over the phone, which is why I don't like adding agenda items the day of. But
Got it. I got it.
so that would be 70. This is all right, 70, and college with ID 50. And then our single event, high school single event, $8, student 6, 60 and older free, double header or tournament 10, double header or tournament for students 8, middle school event 3 and 2 for adult students. And last year we started to approve all volunteer coaches are approved for Family Pass for the season they volunteer. Of course, employees also have Family Passes.
Is this, you get this from MHSA? Is it-
Nope. This is all us.
Just boosters?
Yeah. Not even boosters. This is up to us.
Oh.
Yeah, extracurricular committee probably would in the future be where it takes place and then recommended before today. Any changes?
Are these increases from last year?
Yes.
Am I not seeing that, or it's just?
I don't think last year's are in there.
Everything went up
Hey,
for passes $10.
I'm a senior citizen.
No, that's what you're fine. I don't believe they're in there.
I make the motion to approve the following extracurricular passes and admission prices for the 24-25 school year.
I'll second it.
Moving and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor? On 10.04, school marshal. Lake County Sheriff.
So yeah, we just need to designate the Lake County Sheriff as our school marshal annually. We need to designate who will be our school marshal, and we're lucky enough to have an SRO, and recommending our SRO be our school marshal again for the 24-25 school year.
Nothing's changed from last year in that
No.
requirements, right? Or operation.
Yes.
I would recommend, this is something we do every year, so I'd recommend appointing Lake County Sheriff to be the certified school marshal to the school district for the 24-25 school year.
I'll second that.
Okay, moving and seconded, any discussion?
I did have a question about it. It's in the frangible. You don't hear that every day. There was something about keeping this, the identity of the school marshal shall remain confidential at all times. Don't we know it's the SRO?
I didn't write it.
Okay, I'm just curious.
You wouldn't use frangible.
First off, you know I didn't write it. No, that's Caliva law. We'd have to have that explained.
Okay,
No.
Yes.
undercover cop.
Yeah. Any other discussion?
Anticipate the same person being back this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor? 10.05, coaching recommendations. We got a couple different ones here.
So just football volunteer, Jacob Charbonneau, and volleyball volunteer, Tristan Mitchell.
Are these both high school? Or
Yes.
does it matter?
I make the motion to recommend the following coaches. Jacob Charbonneau for football volunteer and Tristan Mitchell for the volleyball volunteer.
I'll second.
Okay, moving second. Any discussion?
I've got to speak up because I've spoke up every other time that we put a parent on the sideline, so I'm gonna do it tonight. I always have concern there. I don't know enough about the people who are there, so but just a heads up. I just think if we can avoid that, if we don't need because of numbers, and I just think it's a better situation. But hopefully it all works out.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, 10.06 teacher and principal evaluation tool for the school year 24-25.
So as per master agreement for teachers, we have to approve the evaluation tool, and for principals, just the agreed upon evaluation tool, no change has been made to either one. Same as last year.
I make a motion to approve the teacher principal evaluation tools for the 24-25 school year per the master agreement.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Do we have other evaluation tools? I mean, is there a classified evaluation form or a
Yeah, we do.
custodial? We do. They don't need to be approved by the board. They're just-
The only one we have to actually approve is that teacher eval. But I also, for the principal, I could throw classified in there next year as well.
I'm just curious if there were other.
But the classifieds are all a little different just because of the different number of positions.
I did have a question. Didn't at one point we talked about, if it was the highest remark or lowest, that there had to be a written comment? Didn't we talk about that at one point in time? Like it's not a requirement where it would be nice to have something in there, like if you're at the bottom or you're at the very top, just give a quick explanation of why possibly. I mean, I know we talked about it, but is that something we can look into more? Or?
And I do believe anytime there's in the principal and teacher evaluations, I think they've always had an explanation. I think it probably came up to superintendent evaluation, but we've already approved that tool, but yeah.
I just,
Principals, when you have the lowest of the scale, you always give some sort of written documentation, correct?
Like when we,
like
if you-
evaluation, like if it's the lowest score or the highest score, do you give a example of either one or why or any kind of written?
yeah. Yeah, and it generates feedback and then gives you an opportunity to like, this is the action to recommend to fix that.
I think it's, high school same, I know it's the same program, so I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yes.
Okay. All right. I know we talked about it, so. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
So when I look at these, the teacher evaluation looks very quantitative and the principal evaluation looks very qualitative. Or the narrative, and I guess we're getting Mr.'s comment here. There seems to be more of a opportunity for comment in the principal evaluation than there does in the sort of clinical teacher evaluation. In the principal evaluation, we're talking about a bunch of self-reflection here, right?
It's both self-eval and then I also
Observe.
eval. I also give them evaluation.
So you fill in the assessment part? Is that
Yes.
what you would do?
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor of the evaluation tools? Okay, 10.07 school lunch adult pricing approval. Check that one up this year.
Yeah.
It goes up every year.
It pretty much goes up every year, but we don't make this decision. OPI gets a pass through from, federal nutrition program, so. Memos there.
High school, middle school, elementary kids all eat for free. Breakfast adults, $2.84. Lunch adults, $4.99.
I'll make a motion to approve the following prices for hot lunch program for adults 24-25 and free for substitutes. Adults $2.84, lunch adults $4.99.
I'll second that.
Okay, been moving second. Any discussion? One quick question. Have we ever thought about bringing back the community breakfast? Is that just I mean, I know why we went away with it, but is that something we actually look back.
You wanna
into
do it? We can do it. Probably should add it to the goals.
Right, I just thought about that.
That's part of community and outreach program.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. Think about something, so.
Do you
Something to
want
think about. Well, I mean, should we look into it?
We can look.
Was
into
it- was it-
Unless you tell me to do it, I'm probably not
I
going to do it.
agree, I think it was a good.
I thought it was a good thing, so. Why don't you look into that, Mr. Sergeant?
All right.
All right. Okay, anybody else?
Well, the nice thing about these going up is now I'm making a killing as a substitute.
Ray, you are, because that's your money in the pocket if you're
Yeah,
eating.
man.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Mr. Marchant, were you in favor of that?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
It's-
All right,
Otherwise, it's
so-
not as valuable to you.
Tim, no, the first employment.
All right, recommend the hiring of Michelle Charbonneau as Title I paraprofessional to replace the teacher that resigned at the end of July. So we have no other teacher applicants. So we're going to ask Ms. Charbonneau to step in for para on the pay schedule at step 8 for Title I para in the elementary.
Do they work over in the learning lab? Is that where there's a patient, or are they in the?
There's two classrooms. I'm not sure which classroom.
There's 2 classrooms in elementary school that they'll be working out of.
I make the motion to recommend to hire Michelle Charbonneau as the Title I paraprofessional to replace the teacher that resigned at the end of July.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion?
Does step 8 mean that she's got experience in the school?
Yes.
If you go on the bottom,
What are they telling me?
they got all their applications and resumes.
Oh. They don't do it, you know.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor? Okay, 10.09, another employment for another Title I position.
So recommend the hiring of Chase Bauer for Title I position vacated last spring. And his is pending, his application for provisional licensure. So, I would add, and I thought we had that in it. It's in the explanation down below, but as part of the recommendation, I would say recommend hiring Chase Bauer for Title I position vacated last spring pending OPI approval of professional licensure, which I believe
I spoke to him yesterday and we are on track.
you're on track.
We are on track. I'm confident he will obtain that.
And this will be BA 0 to 2, our base salary.
I'll make a motion to recommend Chase Bauer for Title I position vacated last spring, BA 0 pending OPI provisional license.
I'll second that.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Did I read that he was closer to a master's than he was his BA?
Yes.
Is that possible?
He has his BA,
Oh, he has a
he
BA.
has his BA.
Oh, okay, because it made it sound like
Not a teacher.
Just
He's
not
gonna
in
get his
teaching.
master's.
He has a
Not-
BA.
not in teaching.
He has a BA in English, and then he will have he'll have a master's in K-12 English, but he will still need to complete a BA in education, K-12 English,
That's a BA is in communication.
or communications, yeah.
He
Sorry.
will complete the American Board Alternative Program to getting his teaching license. So it's just an alternative program that if someone who has a bachelor's degree can take to obtain their teaching portion of their teaching license. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Provisional.
Good.
good for 3 years.
Well, you can keep applying for 3 years as
Oh.
long as you're on track and
Moved and seconded, right?
You have.
Any other
Yep.
discussion?
Yep.
All right, all those in favor? Okay, 10.10 employment.
recommend the hiring of Eric Anderson for the open high school science position, MA +10.
I'll make the motion to recommend the hiring of Eric Anderson for the open high school science position in Weston.
That's okay.
Okay, moving second, any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, 10.11, employment. Early literacy.
Recommend Taylor Valandra Valandra. Got it, nailed it. For early literacy, TKO position, elementary BA 0 to 2, base salary.
Getting pretty lucky filling all these positions at the last second, aren't we? These aren't like random openings.
What can I say?
You done well.
Work all the time.
You done well.
I would move to recommend, I scrolled down, Taylor Valandra for the early literacy TKO position in the elementary BA 0 to 2.
I'll second.
You're moving second, any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, 10.12, employment for open kitchen position.
Recommend hiring Susie Bromlett for the open kitchen position, kitchen step 5. Wendy Weeder recommends.
Make their motion to hire Susie Bromlett for the open kitchen position, step 5.
Second.
Oh,
We'll
give it to Susie.
I got it.
Moving second, any discussion?
I just had to comment, I just saw, I don't remember if it was in the NTSBA dispatches or whatever, but there's a school district that has no cooks. Kids have to bring,
Read that today too.
Was that Custer, not Custer County or?
kids have to bring lunch.
Yeah, there's no school.
No cook.
Gosh,
That was Custer County or.
what's the name of the school? Custer or?
I'll see.
No, I can't remember.
Anyway, it was just an
Yep.
interesting.
I saw the same thing, yeah.
Okay, move second, any discussion, all those in favor? Okay, last item, 10.13, new gym name.
I expected it to be 10 o'clock before we started this one. And just say, table it, and here are the ideas. So we could talk about it, or if you want to let this simmer for a month, I'm good with that too. I'm just-
Or we could put it to bed.
Or you can put it, if you guys have it and you're ready to make a recommendation, I'm good with
So you're wanting
that
us to pick one of these.
too. You have to pick one of those, or if you could recommend something else too.
I like it. Are we commenting? Can I comment? I like the Legends Gymnasium, short, sweet, simple. I like them all, but I think this Legends Gymnasium works best for me.
I think I agree with Mr. Sean. Just keeps it simple.
What was the results?
They're all over the place, depending on what survey. And that was without so we had the kennel, the dog pound, and the dog house in one of the surveys. I believe that was Mr. Hendrickson's students and staff. And then the community survey had, let's see, I think it was Boneyard, Dog House, and no, it was Dog Pound and Boneyard were almost tied, and then Dog House 2 was third.
I just like the shorter and sweeter. It's like, telling somebody your email address is singingnationschools.org. You've got a lot to, they got a lot to process, and I just like the
When you do
shorter.
it 4 or 5 times a day, it's almost, you're making it insane.
Yeah,
How do you spell that?
right. It's another S in there. I just like the shorter. That's just my.
Well, you're gonna have to make a motion if you want something.
I'll make the motion to recommend that we name the new gym Legends Gymnasium.
I will second that.
All right, the new name of the new gym has been motioned and seconded to Legends Gymnasium. Any discussion?
I'm sure we did discuss before a motion.
I just had for me, I'm just not all on board because you mentioned some other people that said we don't need to name two. And I'm kind of there. I was kind of thinking auxiliary gym, and I think we should still be playing in the doghouse myself. We dedicated the new court to Les Rice, and we moved out 2 years later. That goes, plus all the work we did to the doghouse, ventilation, roof, floor, lights. I think it's a better place to watch a game myself. But I think everybody was in a big hurry. We got this new, we spent $1 million plus on the bleachers. Let's get in there and play our games. Because when people voted for this, it was for a practice gym. And then it was part of me was make it so that in the future you can expand it. So, because down the road, we need to have that capabilities. But I didn't think down the road was going to be 5 years.
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And we were given an ESSER gift.
yeah. And I mean, money was there and you got it. But to me, I don't think you needed to just put it, and you could have still used the new locker rooms, but I like the doghouse. Maybe I'm old school. Is that what you call me? But that's just my thought.
I wouldn't argue Les Rice be a legend on the wall either. So that's another part of it. But yeah.
Yeah, that was just I think it was just a premature move into it could have been held off a little bit.
So, Mr. Laney, do I understand, you're thinking doghouse for the new
I'm thinking auxiliary gym
auxiliary gym?
and stay in the
And the
doghouse.
doghouse is the, okay.
I'm just
Yeah,
one
I'm
gym game.
flexible. I just
So,
like.
I'm not on board. I guess it's naming the house at all or the gym at all. So, but don't mind me. I didn't vote for it either. So,
Where we play is not a board matter.
what's that?
Where
The
we play,
games.
it's not board
Play is
matter.
not
No.
school board matter. It's-
Just put my sense in on naming the place. So,
Yeah, Legends, I don't know, it just seems, I mean, I think something that's more tied to, obviously, the mascots has always been, it's where the doghouse originated. Something short and simple as the kennel. Doesn't mean we can't have a Legends wall dedicated,
Legends Court.
Legends Court or something like that. I just think Legends, I don't think really quantifies what the school's mascot is or the place they play. It's just, it's a different dedication than what the school name is. To tie it into the school and the sports system or the team itself, it's more of a connection to kennel, dog pound, boneyard or something like that.
I could certainly amend the motion.
Or just vote it down and then we
Come back to it later.
back to it later.
the Legend Stadium in Kalispell, is that kind of how they have lists of
I didn't even know about that until after we actually had a flag game listed at the Legends.
and that's the only
Dallas
other time that I
Stadium.
heard.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until after this, but I have heard it since, but I do not know if they
But
have
they
names.
do.
My sense is the naming of it is the preface to doing more work in there. Once we name it, then painting and stuff will go on. Is that
Yeah.
right? So the sooner we name it,
It doesn't have to happen this month, no.
There's nothing, no projects holding this
No.
decision.
No, I would like to get it done, like I said, this fall at some point, so we can finish the design and the work that still has to be done, so it would be nice, but again, it does not have to happen this month.
And the other part of it is I'd rather go with the recommendation that the student body or something was really behind, and I don't think Legends was what they were behind. I mean, this facility is for them, it's not for the board.
Then you also have past students that also grew up here. You don't want to take just the students from right now. There's
No, and that's
three
either,
of you that
the-
came through. I mean, their voice matters too. I would say, I would hope.
yeah, so the community didn't recommend Legends either.
No.
So that's where the past students would come from.
Right. The community was Boneyard, Doghouse 2, and then I can't remember if it was Dog Pound. Yeah.
Is there data we can look at?
Yeah, I have it all. I have 2 pages, 3 pages of,
Be interested
yeah,
to
I
see
think I
that.
brought it last month.
If that's the
Yeah.
case.
Well, we have a motion that's been moved and seconded, so we can vote. Doesn't pass, we can make another motion to either table it or make a different vote. So,
Well, if it doesn't pass, then.
right, but we have to vote on it, right?
Yes.
Or, yeah, we could amend it, but.
And we want to amend it now?
Doesn't sound like we're there.
No.
Again, I would probably.
Right, that's what I mean. Do we have to vote and then,
Yeah.
because we already moved and seconded?
Yes.
So it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor of naming the new gym Legends Gymnasium? Okay,
Okay, Mary.
and then, nays. And then
Okay.
Then we can do an amend motion to, I mean, I can't, but
Well, it's dead now. Like that was a process, so we'll bring it up again.
It was
business, that's it,
moved
okay.
to next.
It'll be old business next month.
okay.
With maybe data we can look at.
I'll get you data.
Yeah.
I'll get you all kinds. of
Sounds like
data.
there's, sounds
I
like there's a
love
lot of
data.
discussion left
Well,
out
it's
there.
eight- it's
I love
8:20.
it. There's a lot.
Third
No,
meeting.
that's okay. No,
We're on
that's fine.
admin and leadership.
Okay, on to reports. Do we have to, you have anything?
I don't have anything unless you have any questions for me to give me, start with full weekends.
Okay. All right,
That's what I just want.
okay,
We'll do another year.
okay.
Yeah.
So we will move on down to tech director, Mr. Nestor.
I don't have anything extra to add unless you have any questions.
So, Mr. Nestor,
Yes, sir.
I did have a couple of questions here.
I would be more than happy to answer.
Okay, I'll try to make it brief. Clever SSO gadgeting for what is?
So Clever is, our information comes out of Infinite Campus into Clever, and Clever uses that information particularly for the TKO through second graders to get logged into Chromebooks so that they can do their testing, they can do things, managing usernames and passwords for those young students is a real nightmare for teachers, and that has hugely streamlined that process. SSO stands for single sign-on. That's the method we use to use our Google Gmail user accounts to keep track of kids and testing and reporting and all that fun stuff. It's Clever also connects to a lot of other things. It's a pretty ubiquitous way to move student and staff and course information from Infinite Campus to Amplify and Renaissance and Sundog and all the other platforms and tools that teachers use.
The reports on EdHub, Renaissance, and Amplify seem, I get a sense of frustration from them.
That is
Do-
an excellent close read of that situation. Mr. Marshall.
Yeah. Do you ever go, boy, we just don't need this? I mean, it's a pain in the butt, it's not working. We're gonna start the year without it.
We haven't gotten to we're going to start the year without it yet. Amplify, Renaissance, those are pretty necessary. Renaissance administrates all of our STAR math and reading tests in elementary school. Amplify is the reading curriculum they're using at the elementary school. I would put those in the very necessary, frustrating though they may be category. Some of the other stuff that we use is less in that camp. EdHub. I know we've been using EdHub for a long time. I think Infinite Campus can do a lot of that stuff. The Atlas, we got rid of for that exact purpose. No longer using Atlas Rubicon, which was a curriculum tracker. Yeah, there are certainly pieces that have outlived usefulness, and I think as a district, I think we are looking at that and to try to do, as evidenced by the Atlas, by dropping that, I think we're making strides in trying to trim the fat on that.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious.
Yeah.
I find if I leave a pile of papers long enough, half of them become unimportant really quick, and so I'm
Yeah.
just wondering if we run into that, if we're not using something, is it?
Yeah,
bad?
for sure. I do my best to prioritize my time and what I'm doing, the things that we're actually using. And most of what we still have now is stuff that we need and stuff that we use. And there's a lot of things we have that are free, so whether they're useful or not is sort of doesn't have any budget implications. But we're making strides in that direction.
And my last question, we have no spare staff laptops.
That's actually out of date. I think we have one spare.
Okay, is that a good thing or bad?
And this is about where we usually ride.
One spare for the school?
If we need one, the district has been very good about getting ordered. It's here in a couple of days. We don't generally have much downtime with the staff.
And you have a budget.
Amazon.
And I have a budget. I didn't ever go look at that number, so I hope
I'll share it with you. I told you after
That's
not
today.
tonight.
I'll take
I'll
it.
share it with you.
You're not gonna like it.
That's fine.
You're not gonna like
I didn't imagine I would in the first
it.
place.
You get one cable.
We're turning over smart boards already?
That line item is just that I'm starting to look at.
Okay.
Most of the smart boards that we got in our last round are all working just fine. There are a couple older ones in the district.
That's an older one, 10 years?
Older one would be close to like 8 to 10, something like that. Mr. Martin has an older one. I think Jen Brander's got an older one. One of the high school bedrooms has an older one. So there are older ones in the district. What usually happens is the touchscreen capabilities start getting spotty, then some of the ports start going, then as they retain some usefulness, we can find other. If it's just a screen that works as a screen, we can use it for that for as long as that keeps working. So we're not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but just trying to be prepared for when we do need to start replacing stuff. Do we have an idea what's out there? What's useful?
Can I ask what a new smart board set you back?
That depends entirely. It's a pretty big range. I mean, you can spend 30 grand on a smart board if you want to. We won't, but there's a big range. Yeah. And the accessories and carts and all that stuff. So I would be happy to get more detailed information.
That's cool. I was just curious. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. All right, we'll move on to elementary principal, Ms. Moore. Anything to add to yours?
Nothing more to add unless you have questions for me.
Of course, the only thing I want to add or ask is, or it might be Sergeant, but the drop-off line is always a
Oh, yeah.
issue, information out.
Hmm.
I would love to see us try to organize or cone or dividers in the future at some point.
Absolutely.
I think informational out and hopefully I liked when you had a staff member out there that really helped.
You do this year.
Yeah.
On the west side of the
That seems to be the number one thing I hear about all the time
Yeah.
from parents.
It really helps when the resource officer is out there. We have to be pretty diligent about it. If you let it go for 1 week, then everybody kind of turns to chaos. So as long as you have somebody out there who can run it, keep them in check, hopefully it will be good to go. But I plan on having all the information out, the infographic and stuff. It's scheduled to go out on Monday. And I'll probably send it out.
It's a really tough one because no one wants their kids to walk further than the front door. And the message, if it could only be, it's okay to walk a block. I even make t-shirts for parents but they will jam that front door up for 2 blocks with one person. If everybody would drive to the end of the block when it's open, let off and keep filling in keep filling in. Maybe tomorrow you're going to be right in front of the door, but today you're a block away, and it's okay to walk a block. And maybe that should be the theme, but it really is a simple thing. They need to just follow the.
What I've compromised on, what I've noticed is the biggest problem is they'll pull right in front of the door and then they park their car and they unload their whole family to walk them into the building.
Even worse.
It's even worse. So then you can't, so then while that's happening, we have people pull up in front of the buses and they block the buses. So then we're dealing with that. So if in front of the door there on that west, is that the west side of the building? If they just pull in, drop off and pull out, if they know to do that, that's great. When it gets right to where the fence starts, you can park right there if you'd like. I would love to see that be. It's okay to park. You can unload your family, unload the baby, unload grandma, come on inside and see the classroom.
Understand the process.
Yes.
You guys can make kids line up to go to lunch. I think we can line up parents.
You would think we could,
Yeah.
but they are a lot louder and bigger than the little kids
And angrier.
and angrier. Yes. So we will. It is on the top of the list. We will do our best. You just keep letting us know what you see, and hopefully every chance Amber can be out there, she can be out there because that seems to help a lot.
Am I reading the mask goals incorrectly here? It looks like your report is lower than the annual goals report. 3rd through 5th grade will produce an average of 35% proficiency in reading.
These
Aren't they already produced? Maybe I'm reading that incorrectly. Let's say math.
These are the goals that my teachers have set for our building. And because of the raw data that MAST has produced for us, we are not sure what is going to look like because we also assign the tests based on what we are learning. So if we're learning fractions, that's the test we take. So we are just trying to be smart, not overreach for something that we don't know how they're going to score it in the end. So my teachers collaborated on this one. This is what they wanted to try. So this is what we're going to try, and I support them in that.
Yeah, we just don't know if it's an ambitious goal or until we get more tests.
Yeah, the data we got is very disappointing.
We need a proficiency.
We need a proficiency score, and we reached out actually and hounded them. Miss Bowers and I did last spring, and they said hopefully they'll have something developed by May of 2025, but it won't be released until like June of 2025. So it's a pilot program.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help us out a lot.
Cool. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to high school principal, Mr. Hendrickson.
I don't have anything more, just wanted to give a huge shout out to Miss Redmond. She had to leave, but we have a schedule with a science teacher that had to be developed at the end of the year. And then as we recommended recently for Mr. Anderson, that's him right there. That she had to recreate a brand new master schedule, so she spent the last week and a half doing that, making that happen, and then getting everybody's schedule. So we have those. So I'm just thanks to her for making that happen. It was a lot of out of school work. Yeah. Looking forward to the year and a clean drop off over here.
When are we gonna push out schedules for students?
What's that?
When are the students gonna receive or updated schedules for them to?
For the year?
Yeah.
They always get them the first day. They should be when there were some kinks being worked out as far as when you got in the portal that you can see. Yeah. If that kid got in to check, I think we got that worked out now. There. Yeah. So she's just putting. If not, we will have it worked out.
Okay, nothing from AD yet.
Brent's here,
Brent?
but
You got anything?
You want to just
You got anything?
introduce yourself?
Sure.
All of you, Brent Hall. My report would probably read, I'm still trying to figure everything the heck out, so, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's been very challenging so far. I expect it will continue to be that way. But I'm all good with that. I don't like to be bored, so. On a side note with the school drop off and stuff like that, because part of my responsibilities that I was hired for was just kind of look into school safety protocols and kind of update, revamp, especially lockdown procedures from what I've seen, just based on my experience in doing that in law enforcement. I might be able to get creative in terms of incorporating the safety aspect of how kids should be dropped off in front of the school and whatnot. So just a thought, we might be able to go some route with that. Because there are definitely safety concerns for cars piling up and kids walking between cars and all that stuff. So that might be something that I can look into to help you out with that whole situation. It has kind of taken a back seat, just me trying to learn all the AD stuff. And so that's my first responsibility. But once I dive into that, I can probably.
Approximate numbers of participants in the fall sports? You have that on top of your head, or maybe just guesstimate?
There are a lot of kids at the parent meeting.
I know
Very low.
there's enough, there's enough for C team again with volleyball, I believe with middle school as well. There's a lot of interest in that. I know that Richard Martin just put an appeal for some uniforms and stuff like that, because I think he said he's got like 38 or something like that for middle school football. So I don't know what that compares to last year or whatever, but that seems like a pretty good number. So no, I wasn't prepared to give you numbers, but no, from what I've heard so far, it seems like equivalent, if not more, involvement for this year. So it's looking good.
Good luck. Okay, on to you, Mr. Sergeant.
I don't have anything to add. I'm gonna go get set up for tomorrow morning over in the all-purpose room. We start at 8 o'clock. We have breakfast from 8 to 8:30. And we will start PIRs, alternative, optional days tomorrow and Thursday, and official PD days on Friday. So we have Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and students are here on Wednesday. Okay.
You don't know the last day of school, do you?
The last day of school?
The
Sixth.
Decided already.
It's a long ways away.
Congratulations.
He's so excited for
I did not expect that question.
All right, anything else?
You know, Calvin, are they?
Meeting adjourned, 8:37, 8:37.
Yeah.
Not bouncing.